Opposition's a position of storms, I heresy. When I see what is not to be, I target and plot carefully. Ideally, there will be nothing for me to do as long as they do not pursue lying to my family like it's true. I grew and was grown to apply the truth that is shown. Sometimes things we don't condone result in us being alone. It's a zone of transition, no stress, persist with permission. Watching choosing one condition attracts the common to listen.
The Inquisition, they had your money, they had to just spend it, just playing with it. You do your duty, real man, no Scooby-Dooby. Down of the goofy niggas. The Inquisition, they had your money, they had to just spend it, just playing with it. You do your duty, real man, no Scooby-Dooby. Down of the goofy niggas.
I am that I am, no lower self-antics. Murderer, Satan, claws, the hyenas, feet, Krampus. Moors are back, ancients return, standing on plastic. I colonists and dirty Moors thinking I'm being sarcastic. Buttermule reparations, get back to the colonies. Infecting our indigo children with the new age sodomy. Stealing our sovereignty, far from genius comedy. Enforcing constitutions, not their corporate policies.
The Inquisition, they had your money, they had to just spend it, just playing with it. You do your duty, real man, no Scooby-Dooby. Down of the goofy niggas. The Inquisition, they had your money, they had to just spend it, just playing with it. You do your duty, real man, no Scooby-Dooby. Down of the goofy niggas.
Listen as well, attend when they show and tell. You say you share skills, feel heretics contradicting and still doubt and fear. If you ain't here, we kick that out of here. Unacceptable company in my circle or in our square. I appear wise and what you see is what you get. Or is it silence is golden and wealth is that's quietly kept? I've been living, molding, growing, folding, I step with many present private memories, falling with them myself.
The Inquisition, they had your money, they had to just spend it, just playing with it. You do your duty, real man, no Scooby-Dooby. Down of the goofy niggas. The Inquisition, they had your money, they had to just spend it, just playing with it. You do your duty.
So they study the actual cities and they monitor these particular things. Fortunately, the last 4 or 5 years, black people have gone to a certain savage level, and that's good. I'll tell you what I'm talking about. When the Arabs was going across Africa, and right after Muhammad, they went across Africa, and if you didn't submit to Islam, they cut your head off and you died.
First time I saw the prophets pick like, whoa. No one ever told I feel sick like, bro. Stomach all churning what I'm learning like, no. Also have my own flag not burning like, no. Fez a turban on other nations like, whoa. What's wrong with your people's minds like, whoa. Wanna take pics and talk for hours like, yo. Never felt this reppin' black power like, bro. Never felt this reppin' chematology. Most of your black leaders teach technology. Egypt is North Africa, so is Morocco, in the farthest west. Mecca is Chicago, Mississippi, Nile River, Grand Canyon, Pharaoh, Al Moroccan native, they call the mother spaceship. Disrespect Malik L, call him slave named Malcolm. Speak truth, watch blacks have a tantrum. Masked up like phantoms, age of corona. Catch the Heineken virus, not improper persona. Fall victim to lymphoma, pineal melanoma. Like whoa, when I read the Treaty of Verona. Whoa, when I read the Protocols of Zion. With goosebumps drinking roots of the dandelions. Berries of the elders, grass of the lemons. Like whoa, how my people ride with these snitch felons.
People lost start telling like, whoa. Me felon. Oh, no. Twin towers explode like 9/11. Times 7 like melting down the church bells to fill a weapon too sick like Catholic priests playing with leeches. My wolf pack tear 'em apart, breaking the leashes. Bad night, bad mission, sad vision, past living, cash missing. I done seen it all before like fast life. Alhamdulillah, Stephallah, cash life. Feds getting involved, switching on flashlights. Allah, we appear like Walla. Shematar, make 'em calm down, Goose Rabba. CNN show the host on the repeat. Corona is over, now George on the repeat. Like how would you survive? Everybody crash Jesus, take the wheel, it's gonna be another rapture. Go to crisiscast.com. Right now, you'll see that we in the matrix. Right now, George Soros handing out paychecks. Right now, niggas mad cause they ain't get paid yet. Pipe down, I mean pope down. Pause all the savages, they only active to react to what is happening. What's happening? City ordinance, marriage rights, subjugate the womb, human trafficking.
Islam. GS is about to be crazy. Mufti's going wild.
All of that is black culture. You see, when I was sitting down at the bus stop back in September, I looked down and there's somebody left a Bible there. And I guess the spirit was like saying, well, there's some stuff in there you need to go in and retrieve. And I opened the Bible up and went to Moab. And then I saw a story on Turner Classes, the story of Ruth. All of this stuff is nothing but, no matter these white faces or whatever, we did live in other lands and we were a universal people. And these stories of our people, that's all over the earth.
Nah, y'all era is not ours. Ceremony masters, Moorish Quran. I won't read from masters. Knowledge from the MSTA National College. 4 quadrants and elements. What's the relevance? 4 is also directions, mundane cross. If you want a solid foundation, build on all 4s. Constant building when Moors are on the square. Tetraphobia is seeing 4s and being scared. At Earth's 4 corners are all the forecasts. Warriors, merchants, and high priests forecast. Servants and laborers do what is ordered. Inquisition know about 4, they draw and quartered. 4 letters in Jehovah and Yahweh, possibly quatrain. 4-line poems of prophecy. I change 4th choir, youth on cultivation. Energy of 4, mystic realm, divination. You need 4 eyes to keep watch on enemies. Seeing 4 is universe speaking through energies. 4 means focus, be prepared on your path. Life path 4s are the ones that won't turn backs. Plus meticulous execution of projects and plans. Professor Drew Ali, Egyptian adept, the man. 4 energy, 13, 22, and 31. 4 derives its energy from tone and vibration.
Came through to activate the Lamb of God. Generate, operate, destroy your mob. The crown chakra 7 inches, 4 gates on the top. Listen up, pay attention. Time to end the deadlock. Red lock, headshot, headshot. We do it like the giants in the book of Enoch. That's big, so notorious, but I ain't flexing choppers. Really tapping into my medulla oblongata, showstopper. Cut the circus act. The prophet pulled the curtains back. The way I bring the hammer down, they say the earth is flat. Stepping through the pillars, Joaquin and Boaz. Solomon simple, young spiritual nomad. Coming off the temple, 7 hermetic principles. This is alchemy, transmutate when they challenge me. Leave them shocked, no Palpatine. Sever heads if you doubting me.
4 paths in the circumference, 7s in the circle, only nobles in my circle. Weaving through traffic, we ain't operating commercial. Surgical, these dispositions cause vertigo. It's that soul tint flow, the elo within, and vertigo. The eye of Allah, sapphire, I'm resurrecting the empire. No partial, the entire, I'm here to admit fire. Flammable, they ramble, bro, we talk with precision. Focused on the mission, yeah, binocular vision. I'm seeing through the eyes of a prism. You don't open your mind, you'll be in prison. Victim to your own stagnation. Venus flags waving, stone no cavemen. I broke it down layman. Yeah, basics, the team I support like training wheels and braces.
Peace, Moors. Salam to all the Moors. Honors to all the Moors. We are in receipt of your contribution and participation in our Civics 101 class number 50, scheduled for Wednesday, January 11th, 2023, Christian calendar year, at 7:30 p.m. See you there. Thank you for your participation. You will receive a link to enter the GoToMeeting platform sent to your email from rvbaygotoclass@gmail.com. Thank you and enjoy the class.
So that's today. Got a free one again. Got a free one again. And remember, there's more vendors and whoever else. You can do the free ones. People telling you 1,500. People telling you $3,000. People telling you pay me in gold shillings. Free? You don't hear that. You don't hear free. If these people are telling you $90 for gold water and 60 notes for 3 drops of gold water, 3 drops, 60 notes. So, go to meeting tonight. Go to meeting tonight. And, you know, it's free. The hell else are you doing? The hell else are you doing? More vendors giving you something free. What more important stuff do you have to do, really? Right? All Negro, black, and colored people like anything free. Yeah. If it's not good for them. Only if it's not good for them. Only if it's not good for them. Right? Now, where we want to go is back. We want to go back because we're going to keep addressing this. We're going to keep addressing this until you get it. Right? If you want to know something other than this, then you should just go study somewhere. Here's not for you. But here we beat people with the spike bat. This is what we do over here. Especially people playing games with the people's birthrights. Right? Willingly playing games with the people's birthrights. Right? Now you see they got feathers on, and they're Moors and all this, right? They're Moors. They're Moors. The hearing of an application seeking an injunction to restrain the government and the Jamaica National Heritage Trust from entering the cockpit country and extracting minerals until a determination of title and ownership is disclosed has been postponed until September 30th. The application seeking the injunction was filed on behalf of Chief of the Accompong Maroons, Richard Curry. The matter was scheduled to be heard in the Supreme Court. An application to strike out the claim was also postponed. The hearing was put off after Justice Kirk Anderson told attorneys representing Curry and the Attorney General that he would not proceed without all the documents being filed. You find me some Moors that they're going to court and they hire a lawyer. You find me some. Remember, these are the same people. These are the same people fezzed up and all that. Same people fezzed up. They're national and all that stuff, and they're suing somebody for violating them. But they're hiring a lawyer. They're hiring a lawyer. And keep in mind, right, this is July 22nd. This is June 19th. Accompong Maroons file lawsuit against government and National Heritage Trusts. The Maroons have filed a lawsuit against the government and the National Heritage Trust in relation to the cockpit country. The Maroons, who occupy the lands of the cockpit country as well as other groups, have made numerous calls for the area to be protected against mining. The Maroons have also claimed to be a sovereign state under a treaty signed with the British government. In making the announcement of the legal action, Chief of the Accompong Maroons, Richard Curry, said the lawsuit outlines alleged violations of constitutionally protected rights to private property. He said the fixed date claim was filed May 6th in the Supreme Court. He said several lawyers are representing the Maroons, and the case will be heard July 12th. By the 22nd, hearing postponed. Why hearing postponed? Why Justice Kirk Anderson, he's not proceeding when it's obvious that they're going there and mining? It's not like they're doing some secret mining stuff. They're going there, they're taking the stuff. And they have lawyers. Because remember, once they say lawyer, they just played themselves. Oh, you think this is some fraud? That one, okay, let's do it. Let's do it this way. Let's do it this way. Right, they said they're going to court and all that, right? This is RV Bay Publications. And they said they're going to court. We'll sue somebody. Right? If you are proceeding in court for yourself on your own behalf in person, then it would be necessary to know the three main factors at law prior to proceeding pro se. In regards to in person, you must first state your person as a proper person in propria persona, which sets your first factor, status, your standing in the community and standing at law. This sets personam jurisdiction, determines if the court has jurisdiction over you or your person. Over you, your person. First factor, status. Status shows, proves, establishes your standing in the community and standing at law. In the community, everybody knows he's Richard Curry. And they hired lawyers. So because they hired lawyers and didn't go as Richard Curry, they're in violation. Because by them having a lawyer, status gets skipped. Status does not apply once lawyer guys there, especially if you hired them. This is just what it is. This is not opinion. The first issue at law is status. Judge sets the status when he walks in there and everybody stands up. You just agreed. You just agreed. So you can't talk status and all that stuff because you were standing when judge guy walked in. Because somebody convinced you that this guy who just went in the back, put on a robe or whatever, came out, is some authority of some judicial whatever, and you gotta stand up for him or something. He put his status. Now, what was your status when he got in there? Was your status stand with them, salute and all that stuff, kiss the ring of the judge? Or was it sit there and just wait for your turn? You're trying to get the hell out of here because there's some BS being up in here. What was your status? From the door. Their status was that they're Maroons. Their status is we're Accompong Maroons, we're a nation state, and then everybody knows that Accompong is a village. This state, what states are you talking about? What state? That's a village. And if anything is going to be the state, it's going to be the entire island. It's not going to be a mere portion of the island where these minerals are at. It's going to be the entire thing. And then if you're really on the knowledge, you're claiming you got sovereignty and all that stuff, then you should really be talking jurisdiction of empire. And not even, what are you bringing up states for? What states have to do with something? If we're Moors and you got feathers and all that stuff like that, why don't we just say Moorish Empire? Does anything need to be said more if that's your domicile? Moorish Empire. They would never go there because they realize that you can make finance selling IDs. So just put these barcodes on these IDs and let's just move these IDs and get as much finance that we could get. And then you go get the ID and they say, oh yeah, it works and all that stuff. Then right there, lost the whole direction of what this is really about. Because some carrot dangling. And you chasing carrots. And don't realize what this is really about. So status has not been established because they have a lawyer. So if they have a lawyer, then they're a fraud. Stuff is already done. There ain't nothing for us to even talk about. We're only talking about it because people are dumb. So we're going to have to beat you in the head with it. I remember just for the two in the back. Right? I don't know about the emotional, sniveling, groveling niggers. We're not talking about them. The niggers with feathers on and all that. We're not talking about them people. Status is the first issue. If you don't have a status, shut the hell up. Right. The question would be, does empire still apply today? It's a good question. Why we go ask Noble Drew Ali? See what he said about the Moorish Empire. See if it exists today. So we're reading this today, right? We're not reading this yesterday. We're reading this today. Right? Does the empire still apply today? Is the question. This is what Noble Drew Ali said in the 1920s. The Moabites from the land of Moab, who received permission from the pharaohs of Egypt to settle and inhabit northwest Africa, they were the founders and are the true possessors of the present Moroccan Empire. Period. You need more than that to know that it still applies? If you need more than that to know that it still applies, then you have some studying to do still. There's not some dumb nigger that said this. This is Noble Drew Ali. He's an heir of the Tunica Washita and all that. And you think he had the print, the purple stuff and going in Zeppelins and all this. I think everybody recognized who he was. Stop it. It's about claiming that we're Moors. And if we're Moors, then the Moroccan Empire is present. As soon as you see El Beide, Al Ali, you see Fez Turban or something like that, Great Seal or whatever, Moorish Empire exists. It's just not talked about. Because the whole point is that if empires talked about, then all the states and the countries and all the stuff like that playing games over here are going to have to go back to it. There's not New France over here. Why would there be? Why don't you just go to France? What do you need a New France for? In land that's not your own. Like, what do you need that here for? Right. I thought the treaty ended when the Sultanate ended. If that's the case, if the treaty ended when the Sultanate ended, then why anytime U.S. anybody's, whatever branch of government, whatever, all of them are going to tell you that their longest treaty is the Treaty of Peace and Friendship with Morocco, and nobody's going to refute that. So, what do you mean the treaty ended? Who said the treaty ended? And who said the Sultanate ended? And then if the treaty is still applying, if the treaty is still applying right now, because they say so, not because Kudrow said, because Barack Obama out of his own mouth said it. He was the man as far as U.S. is concerned. Oh yeah, we know about Treaty of Peace and Friendship and all that. Yeah. People took their oaths on Korans and all that. So, you know, the idea that the treaty is just like with the empire, right? You can't say, well, the empire doesn't apply when you're standing in it and there's Moors. There's people who say that we're Moors and we're Moorish Americans. Well, whatever people's opinion is of that is up to them. But the fact that there's some people who say that they're Moors, then Moroccan Empire exists still. Even if it's in the minds and the hearts and the souls of the people and not on some paper, it exists. Even if they don't come out on CNN and CTV and whatever and start talking about the Moroccan Empire and exists right now because the Moors, they don't have to say any of that. They don't gotta say that. only problem is our people. No one else is the issue. Only our people are the issue. So the empire exists because we're Moors and we're here. Right? The Sultanate exists because this is a theocracy. And Allah guides this. Allah is the Sultan. There ain't no guy coming down here to be some Sultan. What we need him for? You didn't see what happened to the last ones or whatever like that? Which is why there was a treaty and all that. Because these people weren't supposed to be able to put boats in the water and all that stuff. They weren't supposed to put boats in the water. Right? And again, we're not denying the existence of the treaty and the parties involved and all that stuff, but, how could the treaty not apply if there's people that say they're Moors right now, 2023, and then the treaty mentions Moors? If the treaty says United States, and then there's people that call themselves United States, why wouldn't the treaty apply? But this is what the detractors do. Because they have to get you to get rid of it in your mind and in your heart and in your soul. The physical is easy. Physical ain't nothing. They've been conquered that. People cloning people and all that. Men getting pregnant and all this. They know what's up. Certain people received the information and they went left with it. That's just what it is. They get mad with them, or that's just what it is. But our position is putting things back in its proper context. So that way, you can digest it and something could come from it. Opposed to just getting all this data and then nothing happening. And you're getting all this info and studying it and then nothing happening. The connector is having a nationality. The connector is Noble Drew Ali told Moors that in the 20s. The connector is that you're in your own land because the inhabitation of these Moabites extended from Northeast Africa and Southwest Africa across the Great Atlantis onto the present, North, South, and Central America, and also Mexico and Atlantis Islands, which is Jamaica. So if Noble Drew Ali is going to bring Jamaica into the Moorish Empire, what are people talking about Accompong states and all this? Let us say Moorish Empire. Now stop hiring a lawyer to go to court for you. And go do what it is you're supposed to do. But again, if your status is off, if you play yourself and think you're going to get some whatever like that because from some slavery, and then they're going to give you the check in the name of Frank Jeffries. And then you think you got some reparations. You got it under a nigger name. Which lets them know that you're still their nigger. And you're not going to take that, 50,000, 100,000, 25 million reparation check and go do something sensible with it. We'll blow that, give it right back to these slave masters. That's why you don't do stuff in a dead status. Because the only thing is destruction for you. And their plan is to get you to keep doing things in a dead status. Because once you're in a dead status, then they can go for two. The second factor, subject matter and jurisdiction. But in order for them to have that subject matter, jurisdiction, in order for them to have that, they have to prove that they have authority. Remember, status is still the first issue at law, and this is a new issue. We went from personam to subject matter. So this is a new issue. Now we're talking subject matter. Okay, so now we're talking subject matter. Status is still the first issue. Where you get the authority to claim that you got jurisdiction. Which is why judge guy could postpone the hearing and told the attorneys representing Curry and the Attorney General that he would not proceed without all the documents being filed. He will not proceed. Right? Why would he not proceed? Because the plaintiff and the defendant are both in error, just like Marcus Garvey's case. Everybody's in error because the stuff is a fraud. But they can't call it out as a fraud, so they just blame these people who both have lawyers to represent. And then they're calling each other friend and all that. And then you'll realize that them calling them each other friend, that lets you know that they're both working on the same side. That doesn't let you know that there's a conflict of interest here. But remember, you waived personam jurisdiction by claiming to be Richard Curry. And then you waived jurisdiction of subject matter when you hired the lawyer. The lawyers hired the lawyers. These are supposed to be the sovereign whoever's. Why is a sovereign guy hiring a lawyer? Right? They're playing the people. They should be telling the people, we're all this whole stuff is our land. We're in the Moroccan Empire. Jamaica's part of America. So this is the Moroccan Empire. Jamaica is Atlantis. So this is the Moroccan Empire. This is just what it is. It's the Moroccan Empire. So because it's the Moroccan Empire, you should probably have some type of Moorish connection to this. Now we're Maroons. We want this little corner over here on this island. We don't want supreme jurisdiction. We want jurisdiction on this island. But not the whole island. Just this little corner over here. And we don't want jurisdiction anywhere else. Big dummies. Or their agents. Sent. Because they're not even making sense. That you're so sovereign, you could claim. That's why we said earlier. So I posted earlier. Right? These are documented facts. Right? You could just go look this up on your own. Their jurisdiction as far as the Maroons, is at most 1,500 acres. At most. At most. Right? The Moors under the Washita were given back 68,000 acres. 68,000 acres or 1,500. You're sovereign. You could make the claim for everybody. What you making the claim on? You making the claim on 68,000 acres being yours? Or you making the claim of 1,500 acres being yours? If they make the claim on 1,500 acres, they can't lead me. They're not my leader. Because they're an idiot. Right? They're a goofball. If they're going to go with 1,500 acres over 68,000 acres. And then remember, we're saying at least 68,000 acres because we have Noble Drew Ali, who's before the Washita, that said pretty much the whole continent belongs to the Moors and all the adjoining islands. And the adjoining islands. So why would they settle? They have to be sent people. It doesn't even make sense. Why are you going to settle for 1,500 acres? You're talking about birthrights and sovereignty and all this. You got 1,500 acres? That's it? You're sovereign? Sovereign? That's all you're repping? Please. Please. Don't get played. The third factor is adjudication, wherein they impose sentencing, fines, penalties, punishments, and imprisonment as remedy for injury you have done. Before proceeding to adjudication, there must be an injured party before the court for you to bring remedy to. Look around, your accuser must be present for the record in the court. Is there an injured party? So remember, they waive the first two. You call yourself some slave name, so you waive personam jurisdiction. You don't know where the hell you are. Because you're talking about islands and villages and all this stuff. Instead of talking empire. So you waive territory jurisdiction. Just because now they can claim jurisdiction as whatever it is that they want. Because you waived by having a lawyer that's not going to bring certain things up. That he knows that, hey, all you got to do is bring this up and this case is over. Right? They're going to go do their fundraiser and all that stuff. Right? The head of state for the state of Accompong, and we need to get some finance and all that stuff to go pay some lawyers. Not to go pay some lawyers to do the work that the lawyer knows has to be done, and then take the stuff from the lawyer and then go present it yourself. They're going to hire an officer of the court to go help them deal with their issue of being violated, but they're not going to talk. They're just going to let the lawyer talk for them. You just gave up jurisdiction. Because your plea is supposed to be made in propria persona. And if it's not in propria persona, then somebody obtained leave and they're speaking on your behalf, which you don't want them speaking on your behalf. Period. Yeah, but no, you don't want them speaking for you. You better go speak for yourself. You better do it yourself. And you can go and see all the proclamations that all the different cities recognizing Moorish American week, recognizing Noble Drew Ali, recognizing the Moors are Aboriginal and Indigenous. No argument, no debating, no Moors are sovereign citizens and all that stuff. None of that. All these different jurisdictions speaking in favor of Noble Drew Ali and the Moors. Speaking in favor. Right. All these proclamations recognizing Moorish American Week, which is going on right now, by the way. Yeah, which is going on right now. And these are from 2012. All these different jurisdictions. No, Drew Ali's a fraud and he was with none of that. He was with the circus and no, there's none of that. Drew Ali's the man. He laid it down for the generations after him. And here we are now. These people are in trouble. They've been in trouble. They've been in trouble. That's why the campaign is so high, to keep the people's minds everywhere except where Drew Ali's at and the Moorish paradigm. And again, just for the two in the back. The two in the back who, they know something's wrong, sick and tired of the BS. They're ready for some stuff to change. We're talking about them ones. Because we know something's up. We know. You have to know something's up. But nobody told you really what it's about. Everybody played games with you. Willingly. Lovingly. Played games with you. Just because they know they can. But hold steady on the path. Because the path of the Moorish birthright is smooth sailing once you're studying. It's going to be a bumpy road if you want to play around with, I can study this and all that. I just get this card and, don't do that. Don't do that. You better go study. You better go put in some work. You better go in the gym, get your shots up. The footballers go get your catches and all that stuff. You all right with wide receiver and all that? You better know how to catch something. Right. With no stick-em. No stick-em gloves. You better catch this pork chop I'm throwing at you. Peace and love to all the Moors. Noble Drew Ali's the man. Honors to the Prophet. because we know that he put in work. He put in work for the Moors, and we're benefiting right now from it. Honors to the Prophet Noble Drew Ali. Honors to all the Moors worldwide, all the mothers. Honors to you. Honors to all the Moors in the chat. We know. And we know. We know who we are. Islam Moors.
I thought I was done rhyming, but had to bring it back. Like Jordan in 45, my more by cap. Prove that hip-hop lives, they deceived you with rap. Deceived you with language, deceived you with math. Deceived you with civil rights, abandoned the human ones. No rights for child abuse by the pedophilians. For making visits to apologize to natives who really are the foreigners. Watch the pre-shapeshift, change form. We call him he, she, him, her. To make the Babylon fall with no timber. Got to stretch daily, keep the joints limber. Even Kareem name corrected from our cinder. You can't hide truth from a hardcore student. Black means death in the science of jurisprudence. In law, that's black status, dead civilly. All Moors are active, no passivity. No matter what you said, don't care what you saw. You're not gonna get me to say I'm not a Moor. No matter what you show or told me before. You're not gonna get me to say I'm not a Moor. No matter the games you play, no matter the score. You're not gonna get me to say I'm not a Moor. No matter if he's killed a cop, shattered his jaw. You're not gonna get me to say I'm not a Moor. 101 questions, multiple lessons. Study like a super nerd, late night sessions. Finding out so much facts, how are you in doubt? Drew Ali brought you something to yell and shout about. If they're not convinced, their minds probably mince. But if they persist, pass a book like an assist. Most books I gave out never got returned, but got cases adjourned and ignorance unlearned. Got the debt discharge, collection took a settlement. Credit card company guilty of fraud, negligence. Standing on the square, no attorney to represent. A firm never swear, feathers up, I'm not Methodist. Great Seal medallion, crystal beads mala. Riding with Killmonger, CIA on T'Challa. Be careful where you walk more, watch for disaster. My teacher's still a master on the platform of a pastor. No matter what you said, don't care what you saw. You're not gonna get me to say I'm not a Moor. No matter what you show or told me before. You're not gonna get me to say I'm not a Moor. No matter the games you play, no matter the score. You're not gonna get me to say I'm not a Moor. No matter if he's killed a cop, shattered his jaw. You're not gonna get me to say I'm not a Moor. Honest to the Prophet Drew Ali, not Brister. Don't worry what they say loud, but what they whisper. Spies everywhere tell me, you're calling it snitching. Energy talks loud, I knew from the beginning. Mothers who they trusted told me he was tripping. All the honey dipping their own grave they're digging. Listen, I'm not new to this, I had the best tutorship. More Science Temple, Arab Chamber rulership. Big brothers and clan mothers taught me the ways. What time to sun gauge, truism cliches. Taboo hidden meanings, feelings of visitors. Most remain picketers and stay on perimeters. Inner chat solicitors, lower self prisoners. Confused listeners, sold to inquisitors. Colorable terms, responded and petitioners. Challenge jurisdiction of the CRA commissioners. No matter what you said, don't care what you saw. You're not gonna get me to say I'm not a Moor. No matter what you show or told me before. You're not gonna get me to say I'm not a Moor. No matter the games you play, no matter the score. You're not gonna get me to say I'm not a Moor. No matter if he's killed a cop, shattered his jaw. You're not gonna get me to say I'm not a Moor.